What is up, everybody? We are over on worldflipper today to take a look at the Arch Godly EX that is now live in the game. Maintenance ended a little bit ago, and I've been hopping in and just trying out some teams, trying out some different ways to approach this, and it's been just an interesting experience because not a lot of people have the app updated right now. So I've been sitting waiting just for somebody to hop into my co-op run and hoping they have some kind of reasonable team, but it's been fun. And I want to hop over really quick before we look at the team and the run. I want to go ahead and go to the exchange shop. What we are getting with the Arch Godly, they've included the 3 weapons as per usual with these godly difficulties. 3 weapons come along with them. So I wanted to show you guys here. But the first weapon we have is the Spear of Gluttony. So if we take a look at what the Spear of Gluttony is doing, when 6 or more dark units are in the party, so this is still following suit with how the Reggie EX and how the Golem EX, how they are rewarding you for putting specific monotyping units on the team. These weapons are following suit. So we have when 6 or more dark units are in the party, while Pierce is active, you get plus 60% to direct hit damage for dark units when the battle starts, 5 seconds Pierce. This is going to change to 240% to direct attack damage for dark units when the battle starts, and then 20 seconds Pierce. When we get Carla is a dark unit. She has poison, she has direct attack support. She's coming out soon on the 28th. This makes me want to make a Carla team, makes me want to make a direct attack dark team. There's just so many ideas that fly through my mind when I read this that I want to explore. I am excited to try that out. If we back up and we look at the next weapon, we have the Scepter of Sloth. So if we preview the Scepter of Sloth, look at see what its max will become. It's going to have that same when 6 or more dark units are in the party, while HP for all party members is below 50%, plus 60% to attack for dark units and 5% to light resistance. When this is upgraded all the way, we are going to be getting 240% attack to dark units and 20% to light resistance. So, I mean, right away, when you're under that 50% HP threshold, that screams Belsidia. Also screams coffin teams. So coffin teams, if you guys don't know, so I know a lot of you do, coffin teams are a team that rewards you for dying, resurrecting, and then getting big HP buffs. It's like you want to die to resurrect to empower your unit. So there's units right now that even work with this, like Andy and Falsh. They have skills that interact with coffins, and we get more as this goes along. We get a leader that supports it. We get Luna, and it just makes it all happy. And you can run coffin team now. I'm going to do that video later in the week. Once I have these weapons farmed out, I do want to cover the current coffin team that you can make and kind of run around with if you want to try it out. And we have the third weapon here, the Book of Pride, and if I remember correctly, this weapon is specifically built for coffin teams. So when 6 or more dark units are in the party, a player resurrects party member from a coffin, 7.5% attack for dark units, maximum 45%. Player resurrects dark units from a coffin, heals 2.5% of HP for that unit, and then -1 to the coffin count for dark units. And then when this is maxed out, we're going to get 30% attack to dark units to a maximum of 180% when a player resurrects a party member from a coffin, and then a player resurrects dark units from a coffin. You're going to heal 10% and -2 to the coffin count. So this, another weapon to support, literally to support a coffin team. So you have the prior weapon, which is going to be giving your units that you're resurrecting or keeping below that HP threshold. Well, if they're brought down and they don't die, it's going to support it. And if they get killed and they're resurrected and they have lower HP, it's going to be live. The coffin team's going to boost them and heal them up a little bit. The coffin weapon here, the book, is going to boost their attack when anybody's resurrected. And what's cool here is that the first part, when a player resurrects party member from a coffin, it doesn't specify dark for that. So that's any coffin. The next part does. The next part talks about a dark unit being resurrected. You're going to start healing. So it's kind of a way to, even if your teammates are dying, you can go in and you can buff up your dark attacks. So I'm excited for these weapons a lot. There's a lot of teams that I just want to put together. I want to build and mess around with these. It can lead to a lot of really cool interactions. And backing up, we can hop on over to the unit tabs. I have tried a few teams out. I've tried the Teurgis team that I was using for the Neon Skyline. I've tried the Eclair Power Flip team. I've tried this Ellya Light Skill Damage team. And the Ellya team has resulted in the quickest times as of right now. And if I come across a team that I'm using, or I put something together that is even faster and more consistent, I'm going to talk about it. But as of right now, I mentioned this team in my video yesterday. This is kind of the basic Ellya Light Skill Damage team. It is very strong versus like this team here. This team is fantastic, but what Arch is doing, Arch resurrects, he disappears, reappears, creates clones. If your power flips go through and as Arch is disappearing, your power flips swing by your level 3 power flips, or your Beretta goes off as he's like disappearing. If you're playing this on auto, you're not manually running this and you'll miss a lot of potential damage. So I've noticed on auto, the Ellya skill damage team lands a lot more of their hits. They're not relying on the power flips to do damage. They're just popping their skills when the arch is in place, and it doesn't miss very often. It does still sometimes miss on auto, but I want to hop on over and just look at the run that this team was doing and show you guys the kind of the mechanics of the boss and talk about what was happening. All right, guys, we have the Godly Arch run up here with the Light Ellya. There's another Light Ellya and an Eclair team in this run. So right away when he spawns, he kind of functions similarly to how he's always functioned in the past. He creates clones and then he disappears. So the Ellya skill hits pretty consistently on him when he pops up. And then you have Ralzelt and Karina healing. And then you have the Levitate being provided here. And what's nice with the Levitate, the little shadow clones throw those little kind of death balls out. They just pop them out. And the Levitate, you kind of float above and stay away from those. He resurrects 3 times in this fight. He'll resurrect, you get this little animation, the star pops out, and he'll just start fighting again. And it's a very consistent team. I mean, there's no craziness going on. You're literally just floating around, levitating, healing and tanking with Ralzelt and Karina, and then popping light skill damage with Ellya when she goes off with Kira. And the arch will pop back up. Ellya will pop her skill. Ellya always seems to pop her skill right when it comes up instead of waiting for it to go down and start disappearing. Ellya will just pop her skill. Some auto bosses where they'll just throw their skills out while they're disappearing or teleporting around, especially like the Tiger's Whitetail where they just will try to pop out. But we have, let's see, 21 million, 17, 8 million. The quicker runs were around like 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. The run I did with Teurgis went like 4 minutes. It was a lot longer. So when Ellya's are popping their skills, the runs definitely are noticeably faster. And I know with the Light Crest Serpent weapons, these runs are going to get even a little quicker, but it's not something that you can like go in and just completely nuke down quickly, because it just, so 2 minutes 40 seconds, because this boss is resurrecting. So even if you're nuking a phase of him, he'll just reset, and then you have to wait for your skill gauges to come back up again. So there's always going to be a little bit of time you have to wait while doing these runs. I want to go over and then show you just really quick the end of the Teurgis run that I did. So we started this with Teurgis and 2 Eclair power flip teams. Just want to show you, it is possible with like a Teurgis power flip team, but I want to show you the end here. So I'm actually going to skip through and just get to the end. And I want to show you, like, look at the team's HP now. Skip on over to the end of the run. They're all almost dead. And I mean, I don't have a healer on the team. I just have Ralzelt tanking and giving recover. And you could totally put a healer on here and probably have a little better time. But it's a little dicey with this team, and so we did double the Eclair power flip teams with the Teurgis team. This was double the time, so if I just like literally divide the damage I did in half, it's less than that Ellya team was doing. So I'm probably going to stick with the Ellya for now. I am going to try a little other light variants. I just don't want to mess around with Teurgis, and I'm going to try to make him better in this specifically, but I definitely recommend, at least for now in the start, before those Light Crest Serpent weapons come, this team is fantastic. This is the basic like light Ellya skill damage build. So if you have the ability to make this, you don't need Ralzelt here. You don't even need a 5-star. You can use the Gerard I was talking about yesterday. You can use the Cecilia to tank. It's a way to just stay alive, get dark resistance. You just want to keep having your skill damage build up on Ellya with Shisuzu stacking that axe and then you're just going to nuke down the Archdemon. It's not a bad fight. It is definitely going to be quicker, again, like how the Reggie EX fights were quicker than the Golem EX fights. This is still another quicker run compared to that Golem EX. Golem EX, at the beginning, those runs were taking like 4 to 5 minutes sometimes, depending on who you paired up with. This is a lot nicer. It's almost half the time. So I wish you guys luck. Let me know what teams you guys are using. I am going to make a few more videos on this throughout the week. I want to do other builds and things that I find. I want to try to do a solo clear of Godly Arch EX. It's going to be a kind of a fun little event. So I wish you guys luck. Let me know how it's going. I appreciate you being here. If you're looking forward to more World Flipper content and those videos coming up in the future, smash that subscribe button. Remember, guys, if you hit that thumbs up, it'll help bring my rates up. Peace, guys.